This is the way I'm gonna live. Awake, alert, alive. No more defending or pretending or any of that jive. 'Cause there's a love bus here. All aboard, we're gonna take it for a ride.
Love, riding the love, riding the love bus. Love, riding the love, riding the love bus. Friends and strangers we will meet on our loving street. Life can be so very sweet when you're sitting in the front seat.
Cooperation, demonstration, everywhere. Love and laughter fill the air.
Love, riding the love, riding the love bus. Love, riding the love, riding the love bus. Love, riding the love, riding the love, riding the love, love bus. Giving and receiving on loving shores. People coming out of their open doors.
Jump on the love bus, there's plenty of space. We made a reservation for the human race.
Yeah.
Find your location, everyone's got a view. Let's see what love can do.
Love, riding the love, riding the love bus. Love, riding the love, riding the love bus. Love, riding the love, riding the love, riding the love bus. lights in a starry night, feel a connection. When the ocean raves with roaring waves, feel that connection. When you feel complete, then our hearts will meet and dance to the holy sound around.
When I plan and scheme, a piper's dream, give me connection.
We're letting go, we're in the flow of the connection. When you feel complete, then our hearts will meet and dance to the holy sound around.
Good morning, Napa Valley Center for Spiritual Living. So wonderful to have you here with us today. All those online and those right here in person, you are all part of this community of spiritual seekers that we have here. I'm Reverend Jay Lang, and a special welcome to you if this happens to be your first time with us today. And know that you are welcome anytime and every time you're here. So glad to have everybody here today. And we'd like to start our service with a little music, and Narayan and Janet are here with us today, so let's welcome them.
You guys are amazing. You guys are amazing. There we go. So, this is something we were working on, and then Jay says, hey, we're talking about inner God inside. And I went, yes! Get into alignment with the good stuff, with the love stuff. That's it. Get into alignment with the good stuff, with the love stuff. Yeah, get into alignment with the good stuff, with the love stuff. Well, get into alignment with the God stuff, with the love stuff. Yeah, get into alignment with the good stuff, with the love stuff. When you're sitting in your car, get into alignment at the red light. Get into alignment with the good stuff, with the love stuff. Get into alignment with the good stuff, with the love stuff. I change my thoughts and I follow my bliss. The future is the future, the past is his story. Story, story, story. Get into alignment with the good stuff, with the love stuff. Get into alignment with the good stuff, with the love stuff. Good stuff, love stuff. Good stuff, love stuff. Good stuff, love stuff. We did it. Woo!
That is the good stuff. You're absolutely right. So glad to have you guys here again today. It's always so fun, don't you think? It's just fun to be around them. We'd like to begin our service with the vision and vision statement, our mission and vision statement of the center. And so if you'll look up on the screen wherever you are and read with me, we are an inclusive community for spiritual growth and compassionate action. And our mission statement, we are co-creating a world that works for everyone by living intentionally, loving unconditionally, and seeing God in all people and all faiths. And so it is. We were just still basking in our award-winning center here, the community award we have. We acknowledge there are many centers, all New Thought centers, and many progressive churches that are doing great work of inclusivity and conscious raising, and we can still be proud of the work we've done and been acknowledged for it. So it's so good to be a part of this. I did want to say last week we had our annual community meeting, and if you were not here, I wanted to give you just a brief update, and I'll send the slides out today or tomorrow that were at the community meeting. I haven't done that yet. And first of all, financially, we are in good shape. Like a lot of businesses during the pandemic, we've had our challenges, and thanks to your support, we are thriving. We're doing well. We continue to depend on not only financial contributions, but your contributions of service. And I mean, the production team, the usher team, all those people. Let's give all those a round of applause. And I also want to let you know we had many openings on the board, and we voted in 5 new board members last week. So Marv Leitner is here with us today. That's one of our board members. Martha Martinez, Jay Brooks, Dana Adams, and Kenna Burke. I don't think any of the other ones are here, but we'd like to give them all a round of applause. So glad to have new board members and continuing board members as well, which includes Johanna Muth back here, Sean Boyd back here, and also Dean. No, Dean's not continuing. Oh, it's Jeannie Cervoni is the other one. Sometimes the brain goes, it catches up though. That's the good news. So we're just grateful for all of our board members, and so it's good. I also want to let you know that today we're having a new member class. No one has officially signed up for it yet, but if you want to be a part of it, or if you want to have questions about it, about the center, please stay in the community here in this room. There'll be a couple other things. We may move outdoors after a while once we have the initial presentation, but please be a part of it, and we're glad to answer any questions you might have about the center. And then you can decide whether you want to officially become members or not. So that'll happen right after the service. Give me some time to greet people, and then I'll come back in. We'll start there. The other thing I want to let you know is this is an even month. All even months we do the green bag project, I guess it's called, in cooperation with the Napa Can Do that we do. So every even month, and this being the second month, so we do it in the second month, the fourth month, the sixth month, and there's the pattern if you don't know that. So today if you aren't part of this program, you're welcome to be a part of it. And what you do is you take one of these green bags home with you, and you fill it with, when you go to the store, just take it with you like your other cloth bags, and you fill it with non-perishable items, peanut butter, tuna, pasta sauces, no glass containers, and bring it back. It's that simple. And we are acting like a neighborhood because we're a community. We're the only church doing this, but there are neighborhoods across the city doing it, probably about 40 neighborhoods that are doing it. Do you know? Janice is the one in charge of the program. Do you know how many? 40 neighborhoods, but there are hundreds of people involved in it. Okay. But at this point, just the center has, because we've been doing it now for 5 years, going on the 6th, we've done 2 tons of food, just the center. And so if you do the whole city, then we're talking about 20 tons of food. So it's really amazing, and provides food year around, not just in those special food drives that are done at the holiday. So we would invite you to participate in this. Some people do it every time we have it. Some people do it sometimes. They choose when they can do it, but it's pretty easy just to take the bag. And the other thing I want to let you know is next Sunday is the official time that you bring the bags back. But if you want to drop them by, especially online, if you don't even have a green bag, just bring food by the center in a paper bag. We'll transfer to a green bag. And if you want to do it at a time when Mary or I are here, or when we're not here, if you just want to leave it at the door so you don't have any contact with anybody, that's fine to do. Or Janice has also offered to, Janice Davis has offered to pick up if you want them picked up. So contact Mary at the office, and we'll coordinate a time to come by and pick them up. So it's pretty easy to participate. Just fill up these bags, and we'll get them to where, and then we take them to the food bank, and the food bank distributes them to the 7 or 8 different distribution pantries, as they're called. One's over on Yohomi, the one here in downtown. So there's several different ones. So feel free to be a part of that. We really appreciate it. And then also, this is Black History Month, and we're going to continue to celebrate that in different ways. During the spiritual reflection, I'll talk more about that, but just want to let you know we're honoring that in every way. And the way I look at it is, there are many cultures to honor, and we attempt to honor all cultures as we do that. We know spiritually that all lives matter, and until all lives really matter, until those cultures and religions that are suppressed or discriminated against, until their lives matter, we're going to continue to say that Black lives matters, and brown lives matter, and Asian lives matters, and Jewish and Muslim lives matters, and all those cultures and races and faiths that are being suppressed or even treated with violence. We're going to continue to do that because we believe in all people and doing that. Also, to let you know that we do next Sunday, kind of a fun little thing we're doing. So we're going to start doing, I felt disconnected some with the people that are online on a regular basis. So we're going to start doing Zoom again after the services. And to kind of kick this off, we're going to usually do it on first and third Sundays. But I thought next Sunday, the day before Valentine's, we do a fun kind of thing to where we get on Zoom and we'll talk about things about the service, but then we're going to do breakout groups, and you're going to have a blind platonic date on Zoom. So you don't know who you're going to be paired with. We'll probably have 3 people in a room. We'll just randomly, and you'll have to go, oh, it's so-and-so, or you'll introduce yourselves and you'll talk. And it'll be a way to connect, because I really want to, this pandemic has gone on way longer than we thought it would, and we thought we would be back to being in service and back to connection in person, but it's been slow to do that, even though numbers are looking better now. We want to keep connect with those people that are still hesitant, and I understand that completely. I'm hesitant everywhere except on Sunday, so we just want a way to kind of have fun and include people, and then we'll be doing the Zoom on first and third Sundays normally. So our blind platonic dates. And to know that we have prayers after our services with practitioners. There are prayer requests in the lobby or online, and we're here for you in every way. And if you have any other questions, you can find it on our website. So now we'll begin with our contemplative part of our service.
Joy is the word, a feeling that's hurt. It covers the earth and the whole universe. You whispered to me through all eternity. This is how I sing it all to you. Thy cosmic voice rains up on me, sweetens the wind and the air that I breathe. Open that eye in me that sees only thee, sees only thee. This is how I sing it all to you, sweet God.
As we step into this time, this sacred time, we just allow ourselves to deepen, Allow ourselves to become aware of the presence of the divine. It could be just a feeling of peace you have within you, an energy, a sense that all is well. Let us just take a moment to be there and to find the love within us. Just breathing into the deep. What I know is we can find this peace wherever we are, in whatever situation we may be in. And that it connects us not only to our own soul, but connects us to life itself. For all things are one. There is only spirit, and there is only this oneness. As we spend these moments today in community, we are communing with the divine in each other, with the divine in ourselves. Whether it be far or near, that you be from this place, this center. That wherever you are, Spirit is. And I know in this allowing, this surrendering, Spirit comes through us in fabulous ways, creative ways, powerful ways. And I know this morning it comes through the music and the message, those in service and those present here and those present online. And for this, I'm so, so grateful. In this moment and all moments. As I release this into the law, knowing it is so, and so it is.
You whispered to me through all eternity. Oh, yes. This is how I sing it all to you. This is how I sing it all to you, to you, to you.
Went to a Black History Month celebration. It was online. Brad was there also, I know. I don't know if anybody else was online there as well. Did anybody else attend that, a virtual? It was really wonderful. It was presented by people, different Black individuals, and they were talking about the history of Black heroes and heroines that I didn't know. You know, some of them, most of them I knew, but some of them I didn't, and it was really good to hear. And it was really wonderful just to hear the courage and the willingness to stand for their beliefs. And it was, I'm sure it wasn't easy at the time. But there was one of the presenters was wearing a t-shirt that I hadn't seen before, and I really liked it because it talked about how these different Black men and women that have been leaders in different ways have provided qualities that are inspirational. And they're meant to be inspirational to all people, not just black people. And as I looked at them, so I needed to look up some of them, to tell you the truth. I needed to add, because the t-shirt just had first names. Most of the names I knew, but some of them I didn't. So I just want to read the list to you, and I've added last names for our benefit here, to lead like Harriet Tubman, of course, who led so many slaves, thousands of slaves, to their freedom. To speak like Frederick Douglass, one of the first political leaders, wonderful orator, spoke the truth in so many ways. Dream like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., of course we know about his dream. To protest like Malcolm X. Think like Marcus Garvey. Now you may not be familiar with him, but he was a philosopher and a leader about self-determination. Really powerful work that he did and led, and has some ties to the New Thought community as well. To challenge like Rosa Parks, to educate like W.E.B. Du Bois. He was an advocate for higher education. To write like Maya Angelou. To dare like Shirley Chisholm, one of the, I think the first black woman to be elected as a representative in Congress, and had continual barriers when she wanted to run for president and different things like that. But she continued to have her courage and her to be in power, not to give that up. To reclaim like Maxine Waters. Have you seen Maxine Waters in any of these hearings? She makes sure she gets her time. You know, I reclaim my time that you took a few minutes ago because you interrupted me. I reclaim my time. So it's wonderful. She's a powerful woman, she is. And I added two more that I just have found inspiration is to preach like Reverend Michael Curry. Just, you've heard me talk about him too. Just so much inspiration to me. And to organize like Alicia Garza. Now, if you don't know her, she was one of the founders of the Black Lives Matters. And just this light she is. And also the organizers have ties to our New Thought communities, particularly Agape in Los Angeles. The two that are from Los Angeles, one from the Bay Area. These three women that did that. And I think I'd also add to that, that's not on the list, to be courageous like Andre Lorde, who I've read so much about her power that she's done in organizing things. And she has a poem that I thought was just really unsettled me in a good way. Sometimes it's good to be unsettled, right? This is her poem. When we speak and are afraid, our words will not be heard, nor welcomed. But when we are silent, we are still afraid. So it is better to speak, remembering we were never meant to survive. Wow. So people like Andre Lorde are willing to speak their truth because we're all going to die someday. I don't know if I'm that brave. I was, my friend over at Crosswalk Church, Pete Shaw, Reverend Pete Shaw, had to go through speaking about the equality of gays and lesbians, and stood up in front of his community and said, we're all white people are racist. And he had the courage to do that when his religion, the Baptists, did not support his beliefs. So this is the kind, and guess what? The local Baptist region basically excommunicated their church. And he found a new Baptist region, a more liberal one, to embrace them. But he was willing to lose his ministry because he was speaking the truth. And this is the kind of courage I'm talking about, that black people through all of history have done this, that they're willing to die. Because that's more important, not to speak from fear or not to be silent, to continue to be this power. And I think this valley once, because of the Great Migration, if you don't know what that was, it was a period of time when black people spread out into all across this nation, not seeking to move out of the South as well as from the Northeast, to move to areas, and a lot of them move westward. And so we had an influx of black men and women in California, including the Napa Valley. And once in the 1800s, late 1800s, our population of blacks was up to around 15 to 20%. And now you look around and go, what? But because of racism, discrimination, redlining, which is not allowing people to buy houses or rent houses, lack of employment opportunities, the generations after that moved out and moved to other areas in the Bay Area or other areas of the country where they found economic opportunity. So it's not something to be proud of, and yet we want to tell the truth. Ida Wells, another outspoken person, says the way to right wrongs is to turn the light of truth upon them. And so we want to speak the truth about what happened. We continue to be inclusive and welcoming of all people, to be open and affirming of all people. And from a point of view from our spiritual center, we consider all people to be one. And yet, we too have had moments when we had choices to make about our own racism. And I have a story here from you, for you, that from our history as Science of Mind. Oops. Here it is. Let me see if I can go backwards and catch it here. We'll need sound on. So this is a quote by Ida Wells. So it's playing on. I'm just thinking of what's going on. Check the computer that's showing the PowerPoint. Make sure it has sound. Okay, let's try it again. There it is. This is sound. That's how it starts.
You might think Science of Mind includes You might think Science of Mind's inclusive teachings of oneness would be immune to America's history of racial segregation, but that was not the case. Dr. J. Arthur Twine founded Eastside Church of Religious Science in his home in 1932. The congregation quickly grew and became the third church to be ordained and chartered by Ernest Holmes, the founder of religious science. It was a thriving multiracial church, but in 1945, Third Church of Religious Science, as it was now called, was moved to the bottom of the church listings in Science of Mind magazine and noted as a colored church. Ernest Holmes found this unacceptable and went to speak to church members. He said, "I have been told that too many non-Caucasians attend these lectures. True, there are Caucasians and non-Caucasians in this congregation, but this we must affirm. We are all children of one living God, one God that permeates all without exception, one intelligence that governs all, and most important, every man and woman who abides in the universe is a significant entity in the one universal consciousness. Our doors will forever be open to all. Whoever you are, be proud. You are a divine idea in the mind of God." The magazine staff immediately corrected this error and returned to listing churches alphabetically. The following year, Dr. Twine made his transition, but the church remains strong today as Third Church Center for Spiritual Living. A number of Dr. Twine's descendants became practitioners, lay leaders, and ministers, including his great-granddaughter, Reverend Stacy Hilton, who currently serves as co-spiritual director of the Las Vegas Center for Spiritual Living.
But you might recognize Reverend Stacy Hilton is the one who gave us this award. So it kind of comes back around. If you were here a few weeks ago, she was on the video. And we may not be proud of it, but at least we recognized our error quickly. And that was when the Science of Mind magazine doesn't have churches listed in the back of it, so don't go home and look at your magazine. But this was what they used to do, was list all the practitioners and centers and churches around the area. And so I'm so happy that we were able to include all and be principle-based, not based in the culture and what we do. So we continue to be open and affirming in all ways. And I also want to let you know, Dinah Chapman that was here last week, she was working with Unity and developed this booklet called Gems of Wisdom, which there are some copies of out there. And this talks, it's a Unity book, but it talks about all the different New Thought people that were black men and women who have influenced Unity. And so this was a really important document. And there's also a series of movies about men and women of religious science, and they're both overlapping in so many ways, so many of the same people. So this is, you'll enjoy this if you, there are plenty of copies of it in the back. So now we'll continue with a little more music. Talks here, haven't I?
Practitioner thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good question.
Gosh, it's good to see all you people. I hug you. This is such a house of joy, and good comedy too, actually.
And I got to say, we feel really connected with all of you, and that's what this song's about. So let's celebrate that, all right? It's kind of lively. Feel free to stand up and move if you need to, all right?
Unless you're too stiff, you know. Love that fish. When your mood is sweet, turn up the heat, feel the connection. When the ground will seek to meet your feet, feel the connection. When you feel complete, then our hearts will meet and dance to the holy sound around. Lights in a starry night, feel the connection. When the ocean raised with roaring waves, feel the connection. When you feel complete, then our hearts will meet and dance to the holy sound around. When I plan and scheme, a piper's dream, give me connection. I'm letting go, I'm in the flow of the connection. When you feel complete, then our hearts will meet, dance to the holy sound around.
Connection, absolutely. Absolutely, connection. That's right. You can say that again. You know, I can't figure out how you do that little sound, that little thing. That's a bit. It's great. Well, it's so good to have everybody here today. We got a few more people in house, and I think we're beginning to get a little more comfortable with it. I think we're kind of like the groundhog this week who stuck his head out, and I can't remember. I think he did see his shadow, so there's going to be 6 more weeks of winter. I don't really know why we came to this point where we're trusting a rodent with their weather predictions, and many people are discounting scientists and their information about climate change. So, but it's a fun tradition, and the traditions are from Europe. This is a time of what's called Imboic, which is the time between the winter solstice and the spring equinox, the first signs of spring. And actually, a groundhog is a perfect animal to do it because they're one of the few animals that actually go through a hibernation where their whole body slows down, and their breathing slows down, and their whole body process. And I don't know about you, I'm kind of feeling like I've been in hibernation for a couple of years now. So maybe we're slowly sticking our heads out and going, is it safe yet? Can we come out? So it's so good to see you today. We're starting a new theme today, which is, I lost my clicker. That is that. So this is the wheel of life of living everyday wonder. We're doing this whole year, and so we're moving around the wheel to February, which is the inner life that we're talking about this month. And that's the good for February because we are still in this time of winter, which is a time of introspection, a time of rededication. And actually the time of Imboic was this rededication because there were intentions we had in December and with the winter solstice and New Year's, and now we're 6 weeks later. We're going, now what was that we were going to do? So it's a good time to rededicate, to, especially now that we're becoming a little more social. So, and today we're talking about can I see the God in me? Now that's an interesting topic to me, one that I've really been thinking about. How many people noticed the mirror when you walked in today? Maybe you didn't notice it. So there's a mirror coming in the lobby, coming in, and I guess my question is, when you look at yourself in the mirror, what do you see? We so easily see the good and the God in other people. We even have a tradition of namaste that we have borrowed from the Hindus, that we say, I see the God in you. But when you look in the mirror, or when you reflect on yourself, do you see the God in you, or do you see the little things that your hair is out of place, or you got to do a little thing here, or there's something in your teeth, or what's going on here, just your, so what do you see when you see this reflection of you? I remember a number of years ago, I was listening to Louise Hay. I actually read it in her book. And Louise Hay was this, she's passed from this earth, but her wisdom and her truth teachings still live on. One of the things she did from the early 80s was talking about standing in front of a mirror and actually saying, I love you, and affirming yourself. And I'd heard about this, and first I kind of poo-pooed it because, I was into New Thought then, but I didn't really like all the woo stuff of New Age, all the seances and, crossing over stuff. Now I'm embracing it all, by the way. But then I was going, this is what gives New Thought a bad name. We just want to be based on spiritual principles, not all this other stuff, not this foo-foo stuff about loving myself and looking in a mirror. But I'd heard about a lot of transformation because of it. Particularly, Louise Hay was working with people who had AIDS in the Los Angeles area, I think it was. And she would have what she would call a hayride, and she would have hundreds of people gathered, and they would do this work of loving themselves. And particularly the gay men that were there had been shamed for being gay, and now they had AIDS, and they just felt a lot of shame about being themselves. So it was very healing to hear the message, or allow themselves to hear their own message that they loved themselves, that they were loved for who they were. Now, some of them, this love healed all of them. It didn't cure all of them. Some of them passed on. But what a beautiful gift to find that healing before they passed. And so I said, okay, it's a big thing. A lot of people, I'll try it. I'm willing to try it because it's been so powerful for other people. So I did it. And at first it was awkward, stiff. But as I relaxed and allowed myself really to hear, I love you and I see the light in you. You're a shining light. I was able to really feel that and take that in, and I was surprised of the beliefs that came up that tried to discount that. I even thought of how at the time when somebody would give me a compliment or acknowledgement, I would kind of not receive it fully. I would discount it. I would like, they don't even know me. If they really knew me, they wouldn't say things like that, But as I begin to accept myself and accept my worthiness, I begin to accept compliments as well. Not because I am all that, but because all of us are all that. As an opportunity to experience the God and the good in me. I mean, it's like the award we received. I mean, I accept this award on our behalf because I see the God and the good in this community. Are we the only ones that have that God and that good? No. But it's wonderful to celebrate the God and the good that is here and the God and the good that we are doing. And I realize what I'm saying here is there is a divine presence in each of us. And I see the God in you. And I invite you to see the God in you as well. It's not easy to do, though. I know that one thing we have from our upbringing is we think self-love is selfish, and that's simply not true. It's about treating ourselves the way we treat our loved ones, the way deep inside we want our loved ones to treat us. It's just nothing more and nothing less than that. But the way many of us grew up, and I would say all of us probably, humility is a virtue. And I agree. Humility, the ability to surrender and be humble. But that's not what self-love is about. Self-love is just seeing the God and the good in you. Think of the fairy tales that we heard growing up, particularly the one that came to my mind more than anything was Snow White, right? The evil queen, mirror, mirror on the wall. Let's all say it together. Who is the fairest of them all, right? And first of all, just the thought of the whole thing about Snow White, who was as white as snow and being fair, it sounds a little bit racist. But let's just put that aside for now and just talk about the whole thing about looking into a mirror and basing beauty on as being what we want to be, and we want to be more beautiful than anyone else. Even though Snow White, who was the humble one, came out ahead in the end, like most fairy tales, happily ever after, it still sets this ideal up that what makes us better than others is our physical appearance. And I think the question I think we should be asking is not who's the fairest of them all, but who is the divine one of all. So mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the divine of all? And guess what? All of us can answer that to yes. So if I was the mirror, why don't you ask me, mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the divine of all? So go on, here's the mirror. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the divine of all? And the answer is, I am. That's right. We are all the divine of all. And I know that we continue to allow that identity of who we are. We might need to remember it occasionally, to stop and think about that, to be aware of that. I came across a person this week that I was reading at her blog, and her name is Dr. Joy Harden Bradford, but she's known as Dr. Joy. And, you know, you look at her and you just go, wow. But you know what? You know what? If you can see joy in her, that means it's in you too. If you can see the divine spark in her, that means it's in you too. Because whatever you see in somebody else is part of you too. And I loved what she talked about talking to yourself the way you would talk to a friend. We're talking about using the same kind and gentle language and approaches we do with other people we love in our lives, with ourselves. Because we're also people that we hopefully love, right? Right? So it's just as simple as that, to love ourselves as we would love others. The golden rule applies to ourselves as well. So don't, just notice that. Notice when you're feeling less than. And notice when you can open up to a greater truth in you in that way. And to the idea of namaste, of looking at yourself in the mirror and seeing the God. And if you want to put up some post-it notes up there for affirmations about I am the light, I am the way, I am the truth, whatever that helps you. So when you're there, because the first time you look in the mirror, sometimes we forget right away. So those post-it notes are a great way as a reminder. Different kinds of affirmations we can do to know the truth of who we are. Brian Weiss, who's he's interesting, just a spiritual teacher, I guess is the simplest way to say it, says God is everything, an energy of love that possesses an incomprehensible wisdom and power, and we all comprehend in God, for He is in each and every one of us. He is the substance of our being. So to namaste, to see the God in ourselves. And we know that we are a unique individual expression of the divine in every way we do that. I came across I'll explain who he is. Dean is probably, and Dean's not even here, probably Dean would be the only person who knows who Josh Whedon is. But he says, what makes us weird is probably your greatest asset. What makes us weird is probably your greatest asset. Look at just Josh Whedon. This is a picture of him. He's actually a science fiction writer, composer, and comic book writer. And you can imagine he grew with a fascination with comic books. He grew up a little weird, right? Or people thought he was weird. But he went on to write the comedy film Buffy the Vampire Slayer. He wrote Toy Story. And other movies like The Avengers, Age of Ultron, Justice League, all these superhero things. So he used his weirdness in that creativeness. And I know that this is not only from that perspective, but from Ilya Vincent, who's a spiritual teacher. She says we are each a unique expression of the divine mind, living to fulfill a divine mission and purpose. And this goes into the way that we reveal this inner wholeness, this uniqueness we are here to do. We are one. There is only one, and yet we are on this planet to do something unique. Something that is our weirdness, something that's happened to us in the past. Perhaps it may feel like a scar to you, but it's actually where the light comes through. So just the way we have been talking about in January about revealing the truth of who we are, we can sit with Spirit and allow our wholeness to reveal itself, to allow that which is ours to do, to allow our uniqueness to come forth, our divine expression in each and every way. And if we're ever wondering what is ours to do, simply go within and allow this wholeness to reveal in you in every way. For we are this miracle, we are this truth, and we are this love. Let us go to prayer. What I know in this moment is there is only God, and that is all there is. There is only love. There's only peace and joy. And we are connected to that. When I forget, when we forget, we simply need to attune ourselves and reveal in ourselves this wholeness, this love that is the truth of our being. And from there, all life opens up in front of us like a flower that is opening for Spirit. We let the sun shine on us and know this is the opening of our life, the opening of our divine expression. And for this, we're so grateful in this moment as we release this word and know it is so. And so it is.
I want to apologize for my shoes. I, packed everything and I had my nice shoes, and these are my gardening shoes. And I think I was supposed to tell you people that so you'll go home and garden. So, it just happens. I don't know. But there's no chicken poop on them or anything. We have chickens. This is one of the most favorite songs that came through us. By the way, you look really nice today.
Thanks.
Yeah, I dressed him.
I'll have to look in the mirror.
First thing I did when I saw that mirror, you have a thing.
What mirror?
It's that mirror right there. He changed it.
Oh, there it is.
To see the inner God. Yeah, that's really okay. Are
we ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
I'm a child of God, a child of God, created from the wealth of the universe, born into the kingdom of love. I'm a child of God, a child of God, created from the wealth of the universe, born into the kingdom of love. How long do I have to wait before I find my way home? I'm done with struggle and trying to carry the world alone. What is my birthright? Who put me in this world? I'm not an orphan, not a mortal, nor a material girl. I'm a child of God, a child of God, created from the wealth of the universe, born into the kingdom of love. We're from this ecstasy that comes without a cause. Some human breakthrough, or did my mind just go on pause? What is that light out there that calls me to the stars? Behind the mystery, I feel who you are. child of God, a child of God, created from the wealth of the universe, born into the kingdom of love. I'm a child of God, created from the wealth of the universe, born into the kingdom of love.
Thank you.
So wonderful, so wonderful. This is the time in our service when we have the opportunity to participate in the law of circulation, the law of sharing our abundance. So we appreciate all your contributions of time, talents, and treasures this morning, and know that whatever you give comes back to you in this circulation. So we invite you in a moment to come up and participate in this circulation. Either if you give online, we have plastic cards, you can use those. There's a basket in the front and basket in the back to participate. Or if you're giving online, there's a number of ways to give that you can see either in person or through texting or online. So we appreciate this contribution. And so whatever your contribution is, would be one of love, one of compassion for yourself, for others. We just hold it to our hearts and we say, divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I have and all that I serve and all that I circulate. And so it is. Thank you.
I just want to thank you for all you bring to me. I just want to thank you. Your love has set me free. I just want to thank you for all you bring to me. I just want to thank you. Your love has set me free, yeah. Thank you, babe.
Your love has set me free.
So a couple of reminders is one is we have some Science of Mind magazines that are for sale, and this month they're following the theme we have each month. So it's called The Inner Life, and there's also a Black History Month article in here. So either way, those are available, or they're over at Copperfield's, or you can also get that. I get mine on my Kindle, which I love. It's the easiest way to read it for me. So, and also you can pick up a green bag today, or come by the office this week. We'll have them available to us to do that also. So. This is also the first Sunday of the month, so we offer a special blessing to those who have birthdays or anniversaries this month. So do we have anybody? We have a birthday boy over here, a young lad having his birthday. Mark, you have a birthday. Anybody else birthdays over here? Brad, you have a birthday? Well, okay. How about anniversaries? Anybody with anniversaries in this month? Good. Right? We also celebrate, and obviously it's anonymous, but recovery anniversaries. We think, I personally think that's one of courage and incredible being. Beautiful. Definitely worth celebrating. So we have a little blessing here. So we raise our hands to all people. And anybody also mentioned, I did mention this, who's here for the first time, we bless you also. So we just say, we bless you today, knowing that the peace and happiness you seek is also seeking you. We honor your inner radiance as you let your light shine in the world. We are grateful for your presence in our community. And so it is. And as I mentioned, I didn't mention about first, is this anybody's first time here? We have a special, okay, back here in the corner. Perfect location there. Thank you and also next there. So thank you for being with us today. And right here in the blue jacket here. First time, that counts. That's great. And then we have our community affirmation, so repeat after me, please. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. I am led by Spirit. I'm guided by wisdom. I am protected by love. I am here to be a blessing. I am so grateful. And so it is. And now for our final song.
Let's do a practice one. Get into alignment with the good stuff, then we go with the good stuff, with the love. Just think James Brown. Woo. Get into alignment with the good stuff, with the love stuff. Get into alignment with the good stuff, with the God stuff. Get into alignment with the good stuff, with the love stuff. Get into alignment, yeah, with the good stuff, with the love stuff. Well, I changed my thinking, I followed my bliss. The love stuff. The future is the future, the past is history. Story. Get into alignment with the good stuff, with the love stuff. Yeah. Get into alignment with the good stuff, with the love stuff, with the good stuff, with the love stuff, with the good stuff, with the love stuff.
So as we go forward, let's get into the good stuff, all right? Have a great Sunday.